Go forget it, let it all go, let it all go. Go forget it, let it all go, let it all go. Not my intention to have all these visions, ringing expressions, the clamoring voice. It's volcanic desire, the unquenchable fire. It isn't a question of having a choice. Anyway, now I'm old, but if you won't be told, you've been created to answer the call. All passion and lust, you're gonna end in the dust, but you'll hang on some government, a gallery wall. You must go, forget it, let it all go, let it all go. Go for it, let it all go. Go forget it, let it all go, let it all go. Go forget it, let it all go, let it all go.
Mark Knopfler playing live at Radio 2 this afternoon, Let It All Go, from the new album, which is called Kill to Get Crimson. What prompted the writing of that song? Was that a news event, or was it, can you remember?
Oh, yeah, just reading something about an old painter. And it was a young guy who wanted to be a painter. And you realizing that painting like that is, you know, really was an obsession, obviously, with the guy. And I suppose the thing that related to me was just realizing that, of course, songwriting for me is obsessive as well. You know? It's interesting trying to play a song like that without the band. We're so used to playing with the band. That's the first time I've tried to play it on my own, and it reminds you of when you're writing the song just with the guitar, and what a pleasurable occupation it is, sitting at home just dithering about with this stuff, trying to get it to work.
I mean, could the telly be on in the corner and the family around, or do you have to be shut away?
No, I'm usually just a few yards away from that. Just it's nothing special, but I just like to be. I'd be on my own, just get behind the guitar and get on with it. And it's my favourite occupation.
Mm-hmm. And then having your own studio now, so in a way, I suppose the danger is you could take too long working on songs, because it's, you know, when you're hiring some other place, you know, you're looking at your time's money. Yeah?
That's right, yeah. That's not always such a bad thing, but in fact, I think after so many years of doing it, you get sensible about it. You don't just disappear up the sound hole on your own guitar. You know, I think you
I wonder what was coming then.
Well,
yeah, we know what you mean.
You do, all right, okay.
I love the photos in the CD booklet there. There's a man looking at peace with himself. You know, he's in a good place now, I think.
It's what I like to do is to play and record, and I've been getting more and more pleasure out of all of those things, including playing live. Really, the whole thing. There's a cycle of events. Something turns you on to write a song. You write the song, you record the song, and then you go and play it for people. Hopefully, if it's playable, and if it's doable. And really, that's just about the size of it. That's what I do. It's all I do, and it's all I want to do, and I'll do it till I fall over.
I mean, reunion tours are doing pretty well at the moment. Could you ever, stick the scarf back on and...
Well, the headband actually was to do with old-fashioned lights. The old heavy lights generated a huge amount of heat. I used to sweat so much, and when I used to flick it off my head, I used to drench all the front rows. In fact, one kid once handed up a note that said, "More liquid gumption, please." But then they brought the new lights in, and they're much smaller, and they swivel, and they're digital or whatever they are, and they're easier to carry, but they don't generate any heat. And I stopped sweating like that so I didn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
But maybe for old time's sake, if we did it just for you, Johnny, I'll dig out the hanky.
No, but you've not really answered the question.
Oh, well, every now and again we used to. Well, we did. I mean, we'd get back together to do charity things and so on and so forth, and to do the Nelson Mandela and things like that. But even on a sort of a neighbourhood basis, we'd do the odd charity thing. But it's for me, it's a lot of time and it's a lot of work, and to do something like that would take such a huge amount of planning. I mean, just the planning would be massive, probably a year at least. And in terms of the charity situation, it would be quite political. I mean, even doing the charity shows that I do now, say a week at the Albert Hall every time I tour, and each one of those is for a charity, and now it's amazing what that generates. In terms of, why did you do that one and not this one, and so on and so forth. I'm sure you know what that's like.
Well, not to the extent that you do, of course. But, yeah, no, it is. You try and help one, and then everybody else says, well, why aren't you helping me, sort of thing. Yeah. Let's do a song from the CD. This is how the new Mark Knopfler album opens up with a track called True Love Will Never Fade. Mark Knopfler and True Love Will Never Fade from the new album. Mark Knopfler here in the studio at Radio 2. And your past is catching up on you here. Please give Mark my best wishes. He taught me English at Loughton College of Further Education in the 70s at evening class. We used to sit and chat in the break. He often brought his guitar to class and said one day he'd be famous. I used to give him a lift home some evenings in my old car. There were good days, and I got an A grade at O-level. So thanks, Mark. And that's from Alison. So there we go.
Well, I'm pleased. I don't think I ever told anybody I was going to be famous, but I was pleased that I got everybody through their exams. So that was a big relief to me, that I managed to do that, because I was actually playing nights in a rockabilly band, an R&B band at night times, and getting into work wasn't always the easiest thing in the morning, but I still managed to get everybody through their exams. Yeah,
that's good. We'll talk some more with Mark Knopfler, another live song from the new album, coming up here on 88 to 91 FM, Radio 2 from the BBC.
The news at 6 o'clock.
Sunday's Johnnie Walker show. Mark Knopfler is with us, and I asked him to pick an oldie, and he came up with Buddy Holly and Ray Vaughan. Any particular reason?
No. Just I've always loved it. It sums up what that whole period was about. And it sounds so good, doesn't it? And it still sounds amazing now. And it's incredible when you think of what Buddy could have done if he'd lived. Because I mean, at that time there was just three or four little guys in a room, and I think what he achieved was pretty spectacular.
Buddy Holly and Ray Vaughan, such kind of simple instruments, simple recording gear, and how did they do it? Yeah,
wasn't that great? Lovely, and reminds me of jiving, which I was never really quite old enough to do, because there was always the older one.